You've probably heard all the buzz, right? AI is going to completely change project management, maybe even get rid of project managers altogether. But, most of what you hear is either way too theoretical or it's focused on these crazy expensive tools. So let's cut through the noise and talk about what's really happening on the ground. When you boil it all down, there's really one big nagging question that's on the mind of pretty much every single project manager out there today. It is the elephant in every project room. And there it is, the big one. Will artificial intelligence make the role of the human project manager a thing of the past? It's the question that keeps people up at night, so you know what? Let's just tackle it head on. Okay, let's just get this out of the way right now. AI is not going to replace project managers, period. And the reason is actually pretty simple. Project management, it's a soft science, right? At its core, it's all about people. So here's what we're going to cover. First, we'll look at what humans do best versus what machines can handle. Then we'll jump into 5 practical AI power-ups you can use right now, followed by a super important warning. And we'll wrap it all up by looking at the future of the AI-savvy project manager. To really get our heads around AI's role, we first need to draw a really clear line in the sand. What are the core human skills, and what are the tasks a machine can just take over? Getting this distinction right, well, it's everything. And this slide, it lays it out perfectly. Over on the left, you've got the stuff that's just human. Think about it. An AI can't negotiate with an angry client. It can't feel the tension in a steering committee meeting or inspire a team that's feeling beaten down. But the stuff on the right, that's AI's sweet spot, churning out reports, analyzing data, and doing all that administrative heavy lifting. And here's what's so wild, the sheer size of this opportunity. Almost half of a project manager's time is eaten up by those exact repetitive data crunching tasks that AI is brilliant at. Just let that sink in for a second. That's nearly half of your work week. So what does that actually mean for you? Well, it means you could be saving 12 to 15 hours every single week. That is time you get back to focus on the human stuff, the strategy, the leadership, the stakeholder relationships. See, this isn't about being replaced. It's about reclaiming your time. Okay, that's the theory. But how do you actually do this in the real world? Let's walk through 5 practical ways you can start using AI as your new superpower, like today. These are real-world applications that make a huge difference. First up, meeting management. This one is probably one of the most transformative uses of AI right now. But, and this is important, it's also where AI poses a direct threat to more administrative roles like project support officers. So check out the new workflow. During a meeting, a tool like Copilot is just transcribing everything in the background. It knows who said what and it pulls out all the action items. Then you just take that summary, feed it into another AI and say, hey, make this into polished meeting minutes. A task that used to take someone 2 or 3 hours, it's now done in 15 minutes. All right, power up number 2, using AI as your own personal tutor for complex software. I mean, we're all supposed to be experts in MS Project or have insane Excel skills, but honestly, who has the time for a week-long training course? This is a total game changer. You can use tools like Google's AI Studio, and it's like it's watching your screen, guiding you in real time. Okay, click this button. Now select that option. And for spreadsheets, you can use a tool like Numerous.ai and just ask it in plain English, hey, which project phases are over budget? No more fighting with VLOOKUP formulas. You're literally cutting the learning curve from months down to just a few weeks. Power up number 3. Okay, picture this. You're in a big steering committee meeting, and the sponsor puts you right on the spot. They ask for an immediate update on a project based on an email chain with like 50 messages they were copied on. We've all been there, right? Here's your new secret weapon. First, you've got to have your emails organized by project in Outlook. That's key. Then, when you get that tough question, you just copy the entire email chain, dozens, maybe even hundreds of messages, and paste it straight into Copilot. And boom. In about 30 seconds, you get a perfect executive-level summary with key decisions, issues, and next steps. It feels like magic. Let's talk about creating training materials. You know the old way, right? You'd spend 6 to 8 hours wrestling with PowerPoint, trying to find decent images, building clunky diagrams, and in the end, it still looked kind of amateurish. Well, now, with a tool like Gamma, you can just type in a topic like Agile Risk Management, and in less than 30 minutes, it spits out a complete, professionally designed presentation. Need a complicated flowchart? Just paste a text description into napkin.ai, and it builds one for you in under a minute. You're going from hours of painful work to professional results in minutes. It's incredible. And look, all these power-ups we've talked about, they're all leading to this, the most strategic application of them all, using AI to help you generate complex documents, like a risk register, from scratch. This is where AI stops being just a tool and starts becoming a real strategic partner. But, and this is a very, very big but, to make that partnership work, we have to talk about a critical warning. This whole strategy, it lives or dies on the quality of the information you give the AI. And the source puts it perfectly: garbage in, garbage out. It's a classic saying for a reason. If you give the AI a vague, lazy prompt, you are going to get a generic, useless, and maybe even a catastrophically wrong output. You have to be specific. This means you have to feed it rich, detailed context. Don't just give it a lazy prompt like, create a risk register. No way. Give it everything. Tell it you're running a $2.3 million fire safety upgrade project. Give it the project charter, the technical specs, even the profiles of your contractors and key stakeholders. The more detail you provide, the scope, the timelines, the budget, the constraints, the more you turn a generic AI output into actual, actionable project intelligence. So all of this leads us to the new reality for project managers. It's not about fighting against AI, it's about learning how to use it as a tool to become way, way more effective. And really, this is the bottom line. The real threat isn't AI replacing project managers. The real threat is that one AI-savvy project manager will soon be able to do the work of 10 traditional project managers. That is the kind of productivity leap we are talking about here. So it really isn't a question of if AI is going to change your job, but how you're going to adapt to it. You can be the traditional PM, or you can be the AI-savvy PM who's more productive, more strategic, and ultimately a heck of a lot more valuable. The choice is yours. Which one will you be?